The Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 1059 The Zone, is brought to you by the Madison Healthplex and Performance Center, Highway 463 in Madison. The Madison Healthplex and Performance Center, where many NFL, MLB, and NBA players and former players train, 96,000 square feet, and state of the art. It's an awesome, awesome performance center. We welcome in Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com, on the New Belgium Fat Tire Hotline. Lee, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Bo. Yeah, for another big weekend. Actually watched a lot of the World Series.
Yeah, what'd you think about the Cubs and Indians, man? What a great series.
It was. You know, I'm not a fan of either. Rooting a little bit for the Cubs just because they haven't won since my great-grandfather was alive. So I just think that it had so many twists and turns. I mean, normally in a baseball game, you know, you can miss a half hour or an hour, but, I mean, the pitching changes and the big plays, the clutch plays, it was like watching one of these football games, you know, it's 55, 53, and 3 or 4 overtime. So I think it did a lot for baseball, and just a fun night.
It was remarkable, and a great. Think about it this year, Lee. As somebody who's in the business you're in, we've had Alabama, Clemson, which was amazing. Nova, North Carolina was amazing. Mm-hmm. Cavs, Warriors was amazing, and Cubs, Indians. Right. I mean, is it a great time to be a sports fan or what?
Yeah, and some people out there are doing hockey and you know, so everything. It's this October and November to me are the best months out of the year.
Lee Sterling on the Out of Bounds Show. Lee, let's start with the game that's just an hour and a half from here tomorrow, and that's Mississippi State hosting A&M. It started at 10.5, and it moved, of course, and it moved fast to 14 or 14 and a hook. Yep. But a lot of people believe this line should be 21 to 22 points. What's going on here with the Dogs and the Aggies?
Well, I can tell you this much. The Aggies are really happy not to have to face Dak Prescott. In their opinion, he probably should have been the first pick in the draft. He shredded the Aggies the last 2 years for 623 passing yards, 322 rushing yards. With A&M in that number 4 College Bowl playoff spot for now, they have to feel energized, and they realize that not just wins, but style points are important here. A&M has rested some key players last week against New Mexico State, while Mississippi State was taken to the end, not by Stanford, by Samford. A&M quarterback Trevor Knight and he's got an NFL caliber group of receivers. I just think they're going to hit on too many big plays here. And A&M has 15 consecutive wins by a touchdown or more. Make that 16. A&M, you got the spread right, should be by 21, 42 to 21.
Ah, okay. So are you playing that game?
Not with my clients, but
okay.
But I think it's the right side.
All right. Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com. Lee, what's going on this weekend at Paramount Sports?
Well, we're red hot, Bo, off a 9-2 weekend last weekend where both games at the end could have been winners. We were that close to an 11-0 weekend. My college football game of the year goes this weekend on Saturday. It's already up and available. I found out about a team where the best 2 players on their offense are not even going to step on the plane to make the trip, and no one even knows about it. So you want to get information like that, my college football game of the year on these 40 to 50 unit big releases. We are 28-6 over the last almost 8 years. So college game of the year, just go to ParamountSports.com. Use coupon code SAVE100. You can get from now through Monday, December 5th, just $397. ParamountSports.com.
Ah, big weekend and big next 6 to 8 weeks at ParamountSports.com. Hey, Lee, Arkansas and Florida. Can Austin Allen move the ball on this Florida defense?
I think he can because the Gators have not faced a quarterback like him all year. So I think Florida benefited by not having to play LSU when they did. And, you know, Arkansas, when I look at this team, I just think they had nothing left in the tank after that Alabama-Mississippi game. So I'm going to throw out that Auburn game. So sometimes you need a mulligan. And then I went back and looked at the A&M game. With 10 minutes to go in the game, they're at the 1 yard line. I think they had 3 or 4 shots to punch it in and couldn't, to take the lead. And then a couple plays later, 2 plays later, A&M hit on a 90-yard touchdown pass. That 45-24 result was very misleading. Weather, it looks like it's going to be in the high 40s, low 50s. All hogs here, this is where they do their best work. 10-5 as an underdog. The wrong team is favored. Arkansas upsets Florida 27-24.
Austin Allen. Some people believe that, well, Mel Kiper came out this week and said he's a better pro prospect than Chad Kelly, which threw some of our Ole Miss fans off. Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com on the new Belgium Fat Tire Hotline. Looks to be a really good weekend, both college and NFL. All right, LSU, Bama. I like the Tigers. I would give up the 7 or 7 and a hook. How do you see this one in Baton Rouge tomorrow night?
Well, if you're going to bet 5 or 6 times just to get one win, Alabama might lose one game this year. I think you're making a mistake. I went back and looked at the tape from last year. Alabama won 30-16. They controlled the entire game. They had a 434 to 182-yard total yard advantage here. Now, we know with the bye week, Nick Saban will show some new looks at the LSU offense. Also, when you look at what Alabama is probably going to do on offense, I think they're going to use the pass to set up the run. LSU has not faced a top-tier dual-threat quarterback this year. I think Lane Kiffin, he's playing to possibly be a head coach somewhere next year, so he wants to make a statement. And people talk about the LSU defensive backs like they're really that great. They only have 13 interceptions in the last 18 games, and Nick Saban, 9-3 against the spread. His last 12 road games here, I said the last game, the wrong team is favored. In this game, the right team is favored. Alabama 34, LSU 17.
Oh, roll tide in a big way, according to Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com. Your game of the week is Ole Miss and Georgia Southern minus 27, give or take. What's going on there?
Yeah, if you want to find out if this is a blowout here or could this be an upset special, just call 800-400-9741. First 10 callers, they get Ole Miss and Georgia Southern on me. 800-400-9741. Like I said, Bo, it's be the biggest weekend in Paramount Sports history. You don't find out information about the best 2 players not playing and not even getting on the plane, and no one knows about it. So you want to get a game like that and you want to bury it, ParamountSports.com, coupon code SAVE100, or you can order it through the office, 800-400-9741.
First 10 callers get it free, 800-400-9741. His game of the week is Georgia Southern, Ole Miss. He's on fire, not coming off a 9-2 weekend. Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com. Lee, have a great weekend. Talk to you next week.
Thank you, Bob.
All right, so 800-400-9741. First 10 callers get the Ole Miss Georgia Southern game free. What do you think? That's his game of the week. Drew?
I have a heavy suspicion of where he's leaning.
So do I. He's taking plus 27.
Yeah, I would take the points.
Yeah, Georgia Southern running. Aren't they a triple option team?
Yes, they're going to run
Jackson,
clock.
I want to go ahead and go through the 30. So we'll go another 3 or 4 minutes here. Who did you tell me starting on the offensive line for Ole Miss this week?
Jacob Feely and Talbot Byes.
Jacob Feely?
Yeah.
And who?
Talbot Byes.
Talbot Byes?
Yeah.
Is that B-I-Z-E?
No, it's like Byes, like
Oh, like the basketball player.
like
almost,
B-U-Y,
but different.
like Byes plural, like bi plural.
Oh, okay. So how much stock are you putting? Do you believe that those reports are accurate, that those guys are really going to either start or play on the offensive line for Ole Miss?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Javon Patterson's playing center.
Okay, so who all's out?
I think Rawlings.
Man, Rawlings,
Conyers.
when Rawlings limped to the sideline and then collapsed, that was scary. Saturday night. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Did you see it?
I saw it happen. Yeah. I don't think it's as bad as it looked initially. I think he's just
banged up.
He's still banged up. So, I mean,
Okay.
you're playing Georgia Southern.
Right.
You don't play him.
Right.
So, it's Rawlings, Conyers, and then Rod Taylor's still out.
Oh, God, you got to go to A&M next week. Okay.
So, you
So,
know, you
hold on.
guys
Conyers is out.
Rawlings, and then Rod Taylor. I don't believe Rod Taylor played at all last week.
sounds like a lock to me.
What is the prognosis on Rod Taylor, Drew? Do you know? As far as when he could